Welcome everyone, Costin here on Serious Gaming with the test video for Total War Rome 2. I'll be fighting several battles on the very hard difficulty as Parthia, primarily using the Cataphracts against Rome, the Arverni, and Macedonia to showcase the capabilities of the Royal Cataphracts that Parthia has. I do want to state this before I start this battle with one Royal Cataphract unit against one Legatus unit and one Praetorian Cavalry unit. I want to state that the Parthians did not primarily use Cataphracts. Cataphracts were very few, they were mostly kept in reserve, they were mostly used in mop-up operations against enemy forces. Their primary arm in battles was horse archery. They had excellent horse archers, which is reflected in this game. You have, like Parthia, you have mercenary Sarmatian horse archers, you have Parthian horse archers, camel archers, armored horse archers, and noble horse archers. Personally, I prefer to use the regular Parthian horse archers because they're faster than the armored ones, and speed is of the essence when you're dealing with when you're fighting with horse archers. Having armor obviously is useful, particularly when you go against enemy ranged units. But when you're trying to use horse archers to harass the enemy and enemy infantry, particularly enemy cavalry, you want that speed. That speed is rather useful. Okay, so I'm gonna go fight this on very hard on the fastest speed. Now I am outnumbered, and that actually is the biggest problem I'm gonna face in this battle against Rome. So I got the charge, trample on, diamond formation on, and I slaughtered quite a few of the enemy. And the enemy is eventually going to try and pull out like that, in which case I'm going to use it to pull out myself if I manage it successfully. And the enemy general has not committed. What can happen, and I've played this battle several times, and it can be lost. Particularly if you're not careful with the disengagement. You cannot disengage your Royal Cataphracts. They're slow units. They were slow units historically. They're slow units in this game. It's simply how it is. And this is something you're going to have to deal with. You can win this, despite the numbers, despite the so-called superiority of the Praetorian Cavalry, which I don't think really is the best cavalry in the game, even in terms of melee cavalry. Despite that so-called superiority, you can win. You can also lose because of numbers and because of poor tactics. Yeah, Rome 2 is certainly a slow-paced game. Absolutely. Oops. Or, sorry, what I meant is that Rome 2 is certainly a fast-paced game. Let's get that stamina up. And this is what happens. Let's speed it up. Okay, Praetorian Cavalry. Dealt with. Could have given my unit some upgrades, and keep in mind the enemy does have morale bonuses, stat bonuses in general on this difficulty. Alright, 47 men lost, 113 men killed. One battle. Let's fight another one against Rome. Rather simple and straightforward. And I'm just gonna switch to commander here. One unit of noble horse archers against these two Roman units. Skirmishers, some people would say horse archers and mounted skirmishers are so difficult to handle. Try chasing after them, particularly in multiplayer. Or even, even against AI. It's not as easy as it might sound. The AI has problems with horse skirmishers because the AI is dumb and does not try and disengage them itself. Instead, or actually, it doesn't try and avoid conflict itself. Rather, what the AI does, and that does rather stupidly here, in my opinion, is that the AI will simply try. We'll just use skirmish mode, and skirmish mode has always, and I do mean always, had it's always had problems in the Total War series. Always. There's no debate on that subject. Okay, now using precision shots. Easy does it. Composite bows. Really powerful. Mongol composite bows could pierce armor. Mail, perhaps even plate in certain circumstances. Now the biggest problem I have here... Okay, that's it. Pretty much, where's that other unit? Ah, there we go. Their legatus, which is not doing anything. Why the hell is that happening? Doesn't matter. Managed to rout one unit of Praetorian Cavalry using horse archers. Inexperienced horse archers, which cost 700 denarii, talents actually, versus cavalry that costs 900. I should say that in trying to chase down horse archers, the AI probably does a better job in large-scale battles than most individual players do, because it's actually quite difficult when you have to manage an army of 10, 20 units, and then you have to bother with individual cavalry units to chase down individual horse archers. It's quite difficult. The AI handles that thing better than most human players. Alright, so that's against Rome. Massacred them. Now, against the Arverni, who have their noble horse units. Noble horse units have 40 melee attack, 36 weapon damage. That's higher than the Praetorian Cavalry, by the way, which is 38 melee attack, 32 weapon damage. They have 5 more in terms of charge bonus. Slightly less with regards to armor. About the same health, same morale, and all of that. So, Royal Cataphracts. 2 units of Royal Cataphracts against these 2 units. And just to make it fair in terms of costs, I'll give them a bit of experience as well. Should be pointed out that every single battle that I'm fighting here can be easily lost if you're not using proper tactics. But balance means that you can win battles just as easily as you can lose them. And keep in mind the bonuses the AI gets. Okay. So, straightforward situation. Two armies charging at one another. You might say that AI does not use diamond formation or any sort of cavalry formation. That's not actually a bad idea when you're talking about regular melee cavalry. Because regular melee cavalry does have enough melee defense. Or melee attack, rather. What it needs is melee defense. In a regular formation, you can just take more damage. And when you're up against Cataphracts, would do a tremendous amount of charge damage. Yes, you do need that. That's that. Straight up engagement. 2 armies. Head to head. Might even... You know what? Let's remove 1 unit from each side. Okay. Just fight 1 unit against 1 unit, not 2 units against 2 other units, and see how they fare.
Heavy cavalry!
Okay. Another charge going right in perfectly well. Might actually, this one is not going as well as thought it was. Perhaps the charge did not go as planned. Let's remove that. Alright. These battles can be lost, as I said. Let's rematch that. It's going to happen. I screwed up with the counter charge. My units were too tired. And the annoying part is actually that, say for instance, an enemy cavalry unit pulls out of an engagement, and you try and countercharge them. What's going to happen is that even if the main bulk of the enemy force has pulled out, if there's even a single unit between you and the main bulk of the enemy force, then that single unit will slow down your entire cavalry force. Alright, countercharge. Now pull out. Now this is one. Yep. Done deal. Battles can't be lost. Alright. That's the Arverni. What about Macedonia? Macedonia having companion cavalry and the Greeks culture pack unit, the Aspis companion cavalry. Which, well, let's just say they've got some crazy stats here. 59 melee attack, 44 weapon damage, 24 charge bonus, 50 melee defense, armor, 90, health, 100. And their cost is 970. Yeah, I know, it's rather ridiculous, to be honest. Okay, I'm gonna give these guys 2 upgrades, 2 chevron, so of experience. So 2 units against 2 units. Let's see how it goes. Alright. Okay, let them come. Alright, here they come with all their might and power. They tried to disengage there. Did not work out so well for them. I'm gonna disengage. Because I can. Why the fuck would I not? And that's Aspis companion cavalry. And the regular cavalry. Tough units. Easily routed. Very hard. So yeah. The Parthians certainly have weak cavalry units. And that's, you know, they have noble blood cavalry, which is certainly obviously weaker versus Aspis companion cavalry, or Praetorian cavalry, or noble horses that the Arverni have. However, Cataphracts, they kick ass. They beat every single other cavalry unit in a head-to-head engagement or in group battles. In a group battle, I could show that off, though the AI, let's just say the AI is pretty, is not well equipped, suffice to say, to deal with the Parthian army. The AI is built more around the idea of infantry battles. It can use cavalry units rather decently, but I would just dance around in circles if I went with the army of horse archers, just those horse archers. I would easily destroy the AI, no problem, so there's no point there. So that's it. Costin here on Serious Gaming, signing out. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Thank you all for watching, and stay tuned for more.